up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit that button. And while you're at it, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. I want to tell you something, guys. I know that Dr. G is corny. He's got a high pitched, pip squeaky voice, and he is not the most caressing and soft man in the world. He is not. And I'm not here to give excuses for any past things that he has said and done in his marriage with Quad where he was insensitive. But I really hate that he has been given this abuser narrative by Quad, of all people. And again, I say this with compassion for Quad as well, because I'm not here to say that her feelings when she was married to him, if she ever felt like she was made to feel inferior, or she was made to feel like I'm carrying you, I'm taking care of you. Because honestly, as a husband, you should do that. I don't see anything wrong with doing that. But I also believe that when someone is in a relationship and in a marriage, I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100-100. You put your 100% in, and that other person should put their 100% in. If there is anyone in the relationship where they feel like they are being carried, then your back is going to start hurting. You're going to feel like you're breaking down, and then eventually you're going to be to a point where it's just like, you know what, I'm good on this. And I do believe that Quad was in this marriage for a come up. I do. And I'm not here to say that Dr. G didn't have his reasons for being in a relationship either that may have been superficial or selfish, but I really do believe that he loved that woman. I do believe that he loved her because just what I've been watching past seasons, and I'm going to go back over some things that I have seen in these past seasons, but I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But if a man is in a relationship with a woman and he made it clear that I want to have children, at least one child, and every time the conversation comes up, she brushes it off, and then she starts to really, rise in popularity and in her status with social media and opportunities that she's getting because of the platform that she was given, then you stop having sex with your husband. He feels neglected and all this other stuff. And again, I'm not saying these things as excuses for him to step out on the marriage and cheat, but we have to be honest, guys. We have to be honest. She shut him off, shut him out. And, he should have just said, you know what, I want a divorce. Maybe he should have initiated it. But I've seen past seasons and past episodes where he was making an effort and she was just like, I'm done. So now him getting this abuser narrative, I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I didn't even start out with the intention on talking about this in this real reality TV episode, honestly, guys, but it was just on my heart. I am not someone that is here for anyone being mistreated. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. So it's not about, me just being a woman and only standing for women. And no, Quad really was not the best wife to him. And I'm not saying that he was the best husband. And that's the thing that really bothers me when I even talk about this stuff, because it's as if I'm having to give a preamble for people to talk about this, so that I'm not trying to say that I'm giving excuses to Dr. G not being a man that has been extremely sensitive to her emotions and her feelings. But I do believe, just looking over those past seasons, there definitely have been times where he has been trying to be sensitive to her. And is just, she was just more of the alpha. So maybe that relationship never was going to work out, but to leave that relationship and try to make him out to be the only reason why that marriage failed is not fair. And so, while, like I said, Dr. G is corny and him doing that song, which was terrible, like you should have kept that in your head and maybe in your heart, but not not out loud and going in the booth and recording that. And that should have never seen the light of day. That no one should have ever heard that ever. Okay. That was just, that was terrible. So again, I'm not giving excuses to him, but this is extremely awkward. And when I'm seeing Quad and hellishly on social media, just constantly going in on him after every episode to try to make him out to be the bad guy. First of all, in my personal opinion, I feel like Quad is stupid because there's no way I would be friends with someone like hellishly, but maybe because they have some things in common, they've linked up for their greater good. But hellishly was instrumental in bringing Letitia on this show. She was the one that, in many episodes of the past, had a lot of negative things to say about Quad. And just in the last season, it wasn't only Toya and Dr. Simone that was saying, "Hey, Quad, we want you to be up out of here." You know, Dr. I don't know why. Honestly, she shouldn't even be on the show anymore, so I can't even really remember her name. What's her name? Dr. Jackie. Yeah. I don't know why I was about to say Dr. Monique. Maybe she, because she looks like a Monique. But anyway, Dr. Jackie was also one of the ones that said, "I don't have a connection with you." But hellishly, she had a whole lot to say about Quad not being there, and saying how you don't even really hang out with us unless you're filming, and I don't have a connection with you, and now they're like this. It's like, girl, you really believe that hellishly is your friend? If you really believe that, if you really believe that, because hey, she could be playing hellishly too. I don't know, but I'm saying from what it appears, if you really believe that hellishly is really your friend, then you're stupid, because she is a friend to no one. She's not even a buddy to her husband that calls her buddy. But I digress. This abuser narrative that they have given him, I don't like it. I really believe that it's unfair. And again, I've said this multiple times, but I am going to brand this. Like, if I had one of those branding tools and I put it over the fire and I could just press it into Quad, I would do that. That is that's just the truth, because there is no way in the world I would brand into her. I would never ask to hug my abuser. In the last season, on the last episode, the season finale, she went up to Dr. G and Letitia and asked Letitia, "Can I hug him?" And honestly, he was hesitant. He wasn't like, "Oh yeah, sure." He he knows her. Oh my god, I really don't think people understand. I know people want to always take Quad side for the most part, and when she says something about Dr. G, they just want to run with it. And so now, because he has said things to Letitia that, like I said, it was not abusive, but it definitely was insensitive. He did not say, you need to shut your effing mouth. You don't know what the F you're talking about." And I'm not saying you have to only use profanity to be abusive, because honestly, using profanity doesn't make you abusive, but it's how you speak it. And it's what, if you're calling people names, like he didn't call Letitia, "You stupid B, you don't know what you're talking about." He said, "You're being naive." I don't think people understand what the definition of naive is, but let me tell you what the definition of naive is. Now, Webster's definition of naive is deficient in worldly wisdom or informed judgment. I don't think it's a word that a lot of people maybe on social media have been exposed to, but it's a word that used to be used a lot back in the day. And it actually used to be used in reference mainly to younger people. Naive, meaning you really haven't lived much and learned much to know what you're getting into or to know what you're really talking about. He didn't lie to her. He may not have said it in a very flowery, beautiful, caring, way, but he didn't curse her out. He just said, "You're being naive." And honestly, she was being naive to think that it would be okay for her. I don't care if she was combat trained, for her as a female to go up in a man's face like that, especially when King was acting like a jackass, taking off his shirt, saying, "I'll beat the F out of you." No, it's not a smart move to go and run up on a man. That wildebeest was trying to run up on Dr. G. No, you don't run up on a man. So Dr. G was not lying to her when he said, "You're being naive." And she kept pressing the issue when he really just wanted to shut it down. And also, guys, we just have to really remember this is a reality show. Cameras are there. There are times when people, even if you're on a reality show, it doesn't mean that you want to have every single conversation that you are having with someone in front of the camera. So you may just want to shut it down. She kept pressing the issue. I think he was trying to give her the hint to say, let's not do this right now. Maybe let's just wait until the filming has wrapped for the day and we can talk about this later, but don't do this right now. That's actually what he was trying to get through to her, and she wasn't getting it. So he just decided to walk away. What was wrong with that? What was wrong with him walking away? I think people need to understand when you're in a relationship, and especially when you're in a marriage, you're going to have arguments, disagreements, heated moments. That is normal because you have two individual people coming together to make a joint union. You're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to agree. And there are times when you should just walk away and cool off, not sit and argue about a situation in the subject. That is normal. I really I really hate the fact that we live in a society now where people are trying to make things that are actually common to be something that is outrageous. What he did, it was there was nothing bad about what he did. Him telling her the truth behind closed doors, but yeah, the camera was there where he said, "You're making me mad." Like, because she kept pressing it. And she's telling like she's trying to send him, "Stop, just stop, just stop." He wasn't doing anything. She kept trying to push the conversation, and he really just wanted to shut it down. Because let's be clear, no man is going to feel comfortable when it looks like their woman is in a situation like that, where there's a fight about to take place, where the woman is the one that's about to step up and take charge. It's going to make it feel like you snatched his nuts away. Like that's just that's a normal thing. But he was not being abusive to Letitia, and that bullshit with Quad and Heavenly commenting on that scene on social media to again hype up the situation to make it look like it was worse than what it was, and Quad feeling vindicated in that moment. Girl, bye. You are not vindicated, and I'm never going to believe that any woman that was in an abusive relationship with a man would want to go up to him and hug him, let alone be on a show working with this person, filming with them. No, not at all. Not at all. I don't care how much the check was. Some man's beating your ass. No, I don't want to be anywhere near you. I don't care how much the check is. That is no. That's a lie. I do not like it. I'm sorry. You can disagree with me. You have the right to your opinion, but I'm honestly speaking facts, guys. I'm speaking facts, and I've been going over past episodes. This woman is full of it, all right? And no, I wasn't there when the cops came to the house years ago before they got married and hauled both of them off in handcuffs. And they both have mugshots. But again, let's remember they both have mugshots. And I'm not even here to say that because they both have mugshots, they're both guilty of anything. Because there are many people that have mugshots, and it doesn't mean that they were convicted or that they were guilty of what they were charged with. That's the other thing that we also have to remember, guys. Not everyone that has a mugshot has committed a crime. There are times where you may have had an aggressive officer, the situation got hyped up, he didn't want to or she didn't want to hear it. We especially we as black people, those who are black, because I'm not, anyway, I'm just saying, especially those who are black, you should 100% know that that's the case. But again, people have the right to their opinions. And I just wanted to say that I really felt that how they treated Dr. G and Letitia when they left that trip, and they pretty much were already letting them know that they're out on an island alone. And Contessa and her husband, they left on the boat with them. But why wouldn't the new one, the what's her name, Dr. Mimi and her husband? I thought they came on being introduced as friends to Dr. G and Letitia. So why would they leave with Dr. Why would they leave with the others and not leave with Dr. G and Letitia? That looked weird to me, but based on this most recent episode that I just saw some stuff, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now. I get it. People are so flip floppy. It is unreal. It really is. But yeah, Dr. G, that song that he did, that was absolutely corny. That was not a good that was not a good look. I don't even understand what the meaning behind it was, and I'm not trying to. I don't want to understand the meaning behind it. It does not make sense to me at all. So when I saw how Dr. Eugene and Contessa's husband, Scott, yeah, came to see Dr. G and check in on him, I just was like, I feel like they already came with how they felt about the situation. And listen, I cannot tell someone who was in their situation what they should have done. You could say what you would or wouldn't do, but King, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't care if Dr. G decided to file a complaint against him. He said, "I will F you up." Did he touch him? No, he didn't. But did he have intentions on doing so? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if Dr. G wanted to be petty in that moment and do what he did, I'll be honest with you. I probably would not have done the same thing, but I'm not going to say that I care that he did, because Quad had every intention on trying to hurt Dr. G, on trying to throw her new man up in his face. And what Quad did that we may not have seen on camera, but just a little bit that we saw after the couples night game that happened, and she was drunk as the old lady on Martin. She was boosting King up the next day, and who knows what she put on him that night. You know what I'm saying? Because what is it, like 3 times a day? They said 15 times a week, whatever. Um, who knows what she put on him that night to convince him to approach Dr. G the next day when he was there and he saw exactly what was done. He saw exactly what Dr. G said. He looked right at him. I'm going to share my screen, guys, and I hope I do not get flagged because Bravo is a trip when it comes to these clips. But I am sharing what I'm sharing. It's fair use, and the commentary is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is not my content. But I want to share my screen because I want to share this clip because I think a lot of people are missing this. All right, guys. So let me try and play this clip here. And I'm going to pause it throughout because I just want you to look, like really pay attention.
Babe,
Why?
babe.
You haven't.
Are you saying,
Listen,
baby?
yes, I'm
Are
saying,
you saying,
baby.
baby? This is teeter tottering into the zone of disaster.
Babe, you're really cute.
I'm glamorous.
You are.
Look at King. He was looking back at Dr. G and Letitia, but yeah, he was looking back at them the entire time. He wasn't looking at Quad and trying to get her to not engage with them, right? Am I wrong? Look at him. He's looking back at them. So let's continue.
What you want to be?
Happy where you are.
What you want to be?
Look, still looking back there. Not trying to calm her down, not trying to say they're not worth it. Just focus on us, babe. You know, it's going to be all right. I love you. Kissing her, loving her, whatever. You know, to take her attention off of them so that she's not doing what she's doing in this moment. But let's continue.
Listen,
Babe.
I'm
Babe.
there.
Again, Dr. G, he was just trying to get her to stop speaking to them. He ain't saying bitch. He's saying babe. And am I wrong? If you're speaking to someone at a regular voice, he kept saying babe, and they're not listening to you. The most people's reaction is going to be to elevate their voice so that hopefully that will get you to pay attention and listen, right? Is that abusive? But let's continue.
Be good. Be good.
Look, King's looking back at them the entire time. Quad, she turns her head for a moment. Dr. G is saying, be good. Like, don't worry about them. Be good. Like, let's focus on us. Anyway, King is looking back at them the entire time.
You be good. You be good. Greg is losing it.
Toya's full of shit. I like her more so now than I ever did before in the past, but stop that narrative. He's losing it. He was trying to just get Letitia to stop speaking to them.
He has lost it.
You be good, okay?
Good.
She's good. We're good.
Dr. G said, she's good, talking about Quad, and we're good. He was trying to just bring some peace to the situation, but these heifers, this bitch right here, yeah, I'm going to call him a bitch because I don't like him at all. I really feel like what he has done to Dr. G has been, it's been deplorable. When Dr. G was trying to defend his character, when this heifer right here called Dr. G a pedophile, and you know what I'm talking about, and said that he's not respected in the community. She's not respected in the community from what I've heard, but let's continue.
The volume is real loud over there. My man would never speak to me like that.
Look at King. Quad turned her head. He's still looking back at Dr. G. Still looking back at them.
Don't talk to her.
I think
Look, he was still looking back at them. Dr. G is telling Letitia, don't talk to them.
she is the perfect fit for my ex-husband.
Look, he glanced at Quad for a little bit, and then he looked back at them. He was paying attention the entire time.
Well, we don't care what you think. I'm not trying to go there.
Look, he was looking back still. Dr. G said, we don't care what you think.
You just said.
Me.
What you just said.
But you don't help people. You got a big mouth.
Okay, you heard Dr. G just said, you have a big effing mouth. King was still, even though Contessa's butt is in the view of the camera, he was still looking back at them. When he said to Quad, you don't help things. You have a big effing mouth. King was looking back at Dr. G when he said it. He heard him that night. Okay? King was looking back. You saw?
I hope you're happy. I want you to be happy. Good.
That's the narcissist that's being revealed.
The narcissist being revealed is Quad. Okay? He said to her, I hope you're happy. I want you to be happy. Even after he said to her, you have a big effing mouth, you don't help situations, he still was trying to bring resolve to the situation to say, look, let's squash this. I hope you're happy. Move on. Leave us alone. Oh my gosh.
Quad is sharing a lot. We could tell that she's getting a little loose, and it could be because of the rum.
Don't give her no excuses. Yeah, she was drinking a lot, but that's what she really wanted to say.
or sparkling water, distilled water. Any type of water would be beneficial in this situation.
Okay, so he's uncomfortable right now. Quad.
Babe,
Quad. Baby, are you saying that?
Look, King was looking back the entire time with this big mouth heifer. And Dr. G said you have a big effing mouth, right? She does. Look. But King was looking back the entire time, guys. The entire time. That night of the couples night game, he was looking back, listening to Dr. G the entire time.
Are you saying, baby?
babe,
You're really cute.
I'm glad. Babe,
You are.
See, looking back the entire time. So I'm not even going to play any more of that. So this is why I wanted to play this, guys, in its entirety, because that night, if King really felt that way, if he really had that smoke, he could have got up and he could have said something to him that night. Okay. So the reason why he did it the next day is because Quad was the one that coerced him to do it. Okay. So here we are the next day.
What happened last night? I'm gonna let that shit slide. All right.
Okay.
You don't need to speak to her no more.
I don't want to speak to her no
All
more.
right. So don't let it happen. All right. And then we ain't gonna have no problems.
Listen,
All right.
tell her to stop saying the shit that she says.
No, she can say whatever she want to say.
Not to me.
You heard what he said? She can say whatever the F she wants to say. So he already came over with the Quad agenda. Okay.
Either.
Hold on.
Not to me.
No, she said whatever she
To
want
me.
to say.
How do you want me not to talk to her and then she can say shit to me?
See, how can you think that it is okay for your girlfriend to say whatever she wants to say to me and I'm not supposed to respond to her? Are you crazy?
I'm telling
Does
you.
that make sense to you?
If she says something to you, you address me. You don't speak to her.
This nigga's stupid.
Jack ain't gonna let nothing pop off. No, but I just need you to stay with me. Shaq ain't finna let pop off.
You tell her. Don't be coming at me with the crazy shit.
I'm telling you.
And I would, if she come in
Hold
with
on.
some crazy shit,
Hold on. I'm telling you some shit right now. I know about the past, right? I ain't gonna go
you know
fight
her
the past.
side of the past.
Right. You know her side of the past. Oh, yeah.
Tell me something different then. Tell me something
You gonna
different.
find out.
Tell me
You
something
gonna
different.
find out.
You don't want to find out.
What don't I want to find out? Listen, I'm a doctor, bro. I ain't got time to be fighting with people who coming up to me talking, sending there like veiled threats.
Exactly.
I don't have time to fight you or
I ain't
anybody else.
making no threats.
I just hope she takes
I
her
ain't
shit.
making no threats.
I hope you sweep her off her feet.
I ain't
and
making no
sweep her
threats.
as far as you can sweep her, bro.
Bruh,
Look, I got no words for her.
I said one thing.
But tell her to stop saying shit
As long as
about
you ain't
me.
got no words, we good.
Man,
All
what,
right?
man?
What,
All
man?
right.
So I want to stop it there because I want to go back. Let's see if it's right here.
Cheers to you guys. Hey, I'm happy to just have some guy time with y'all. But King, thank you also for, I guess, for taking your shirt off in front of the women.
Nah.
But no, and seriously, I appreciate how you've come in and just been, like a real positive person.
Really?
I appreciate it.
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys welcoming me in and making me feel comfortable. I mean, I really appreciate that, man. All the fellas, man.
Well, I gotta say, I haven't
Yeah.
really welcomed you because it's been awkward for me, but I don't mean you any disrespect.
I think she is the perfect fit for my ex-husband.
Well, we don't care what you think.
See, he was looking back at him. And Dr. G said, I haven't really welcomed you. He was telling the truth. I haven't really welcomed you because it has been uncomfortable. It's been awkward, but I do not mean you any disrespect.
And I don't really mean her any disrespect. We just have a history, and she was speaking over my new marriage, and it bothered me. Babe,
I'm what you want to be.
be good. You be good.
And Quad was doing that. She was making comments about their relationship. She was talking about y'all need to go and do it more so you can have that baby. I'll throw a baby shower for you. When she knows that Letitia is having fertility struggles. It was to be a mean girl.
I didn't handle it the best way. So, no disrespect.
No, okay. No, and that's understandable. You guys have a past. I mean, it's obvious. It's there. We can't change the past.
I mean, what I said was really not. I just said you talk too much.
So you said that to her?
See, and here is where I wanted to bring you guys. He says, so you said that to her, Nigga, you heard him say that to her. You were watching the entire time that night. If you really felt some type of way and you really wanted that smoke, you would have got up in that moment. And you did not. And Dr. G, he repeats what he said that night. He said, I just told her she talks too effing much. She does.
I did.
Oh, here we go.
And I know how she is. I know she had too much to drink.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that last night.
Lies! The lies. So see, that's where I wanted to stop it. That's where I wanted to bring you guys to, and that's where I want to stop it. He just said, "Oh, I didn't hear that night. You are a liar. You are a stunt queen, just like your girlfriend." And you heard exactly what he said because you were looking back at Dr. G the entire time that night. Okay. So King is a liar. He's a liar. He's a stunt queen, just like his girlfriend, Quad. And I'm sorry. You guys can say whatever you want to say. Yeah, Dr. G is corny. He got that pipsqueak voice. He is awkward. He is all of the things when it comes to, that type of stuff. But is he abusive? No, he's not. He was used by his first wife, Quad. She used him as a prop to elevate herself and got up out of the marriage. She didn't have sex with the man for the last 3 years of the marriage, and made herself out to be the 100% victim in the relationship. And listen, I'm just not here for it. I'm not here for Quad. I'm not here for Dr. Heavenly. And I'm not here for, honestly, most of those women on this show, because I'll talk about that in a separate Real of Reality TV. But I just really feel that a lot of what's going on now, guys, when it comes to these ladies on the show, it's exhausting, it's tiring, and I'm just disgusted by it all. I really am. But yeah, King is a liar. Dr. G really is getting a bad rap. Yeah, he's corny. Yeah, he had his little Mini Cooper that he got in the car and sped off in, and Bravo added the sound effect, the sound effects. But again, he's abusive, quote unquote. So Quad says, but and again, I know cameras don't show it all, but I'm just not here for it, because I don't believe that this woman, if she was being abused by this man, she would want to be on the show with him. I don't care if she stayed on the show, they kept her on it, and he chose to leave. I don't believe that he left because they asked him to leave. I believe he left because he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And so I believe that he came on the show for Quad. He left the show because they were not together anymore. She stayed on because she loves the spotlight. She is a camera whore, and she needs the check to live the type of lifestyle that she's living now. And I believe is very over exorbitant, but hey, she has to pay those bills, not me. But again, I truly believe that he is on the show now because Dr. Heavenly and the other ladies, they coerced and convinced Letitia to be on the show, and he's on there for his new wife. He was on the show before because of his previous wife, and now he's on the show again because of his new wife. It is not because he wants to be on TV. He does not promote his practice. He is not, you know, doing the type of stuff that a lot of these other people do. And I don't believe that most of the guys that are on the show are on it because they just want to be on it. They are on it because of their, significant others. I get that. So the fact that people are trying to make it out like Dr. G wants to be on TV and that's why he's here because he wants to spite his old ex-wife. No, it's not like that at all. And like Mariah said, you're not even married to medicine, my love. Why is she even still on the show? I don't care if after all of the seasons that she's been on here not speaking to her ex-husband and then finally getting a divorce and being single and going on couples trips solo, finally gets a man, because last season her ex-husband with his new wife came on the show and it made her feel some type of way. So now she had to get a man to bring on the show to spite him. Nobody is going to convince me otherwise. I 100% believe what I'm saying, and 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 that's just it. But the abusive narrative, he's left the room, left the show. He has not been all up in Quad's face and all this other stuff like that. So Quad using this narrative to, go on social media to just make it seem like, oh my God, seeing that scene with him and Letitia is just so triggering, and it just is a vindication for me of everything that I said about him is true. Girl, bye. Goodbye. Okay? Letitia is by far not perfect, and they and her, their relationship, they have that gap in age, so there are going to be those struggles and issues with that, but that's whatever they chose to do, they have to work that out. But is it abusive? No, I don't believe that. I don't agree. I don't. But King definitely is a liar. You guys saw it. I showed you. I broke it down. King was looking at him the entire time. And if he was about that life, when he was looking back and Dr. G said that night, and like everybody was there, they were saying that Dr. G was loud. If they all heard it and King was sitting there and looking back at him, why didn't he hear it that night? So when Dr. G said to him the next day, what he said to him, he said, I told her she talks too effing much. You said that to her? Oh, I didn't hear that. Lies. Lies. If he was really about that life, when he said what he said to her that night, he would have got up that moment. I'm not saying he should get up to fight him, but he could have got up and or just turned. Well, he was turning back. He could have said something out of his mouth at that moment. Hold up now. Don't talk to my girl like that. Quad was the one sitting there saying, my man would never speak to me like that. He wasn't even speaking. So maybe he wouldn't speak to you like that because you tell him what to say. Child, these people are ridiculous. But listen, I'm going to come back for more. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.